Hey travelers, it's quite chilly. It's the exhaust temperature 43 degrees. And I was wondering, are you guys still out there? Do you still exist? Are you mining? If you're not mining, do you still exist? Anyways, I got these cards over here still running Flux, and the A2000s over there running SiCPoW, but they're in the basement right now, except for those guys, but whatever, I didn't really have space for them. Subscribers have been going up still. I just made a updated video for the breakout boards, and I was thinking, wonder what you guys are doing out there. Is anyone still mining? Do you have any coins you're excited about? How do you feel about crypto and stuff in general? I'll give you my thoughts, my feelings, and whatnot, how I feel about this current situation and whatnot. Of course, profitability is still pretty awful. A lot of ups and downs still, so it does make it really quite difficult to speculative mine unless you're just gonna set and forget it, send it, and not care if it's profitable or not. Because of course, if you just like mining, maybe that's fine, but if the hope is that it's profitable and you're actually turning a profit over just buying the coin, well, it doesn't make any sense to mine when it isn't profitable. You should just go and buy it. So I don't know, it's a bit of a miner's dilemma at the moment. So overall, I'm still very positive on crypto. GPU mining in general though, unfortunately, I expected and hoped for a little bit more profitability than what we're seeing now. I would have expected that someone with 5 cents a kilowatt hour electric could have made a tiny profit. And unfortunately, it's a little bit worse than that generally. And there's more fluctuations than I would have expected. So it's not really far off from what I expected, but it is a little worse. And, you know, that's in general the less preferable direction for things to go. So, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. Either way, I'm still here. I still plan on mining. I still like it. I'm still interested. So I'm not running away just yet, but I could see the value with selling the hardware for a lot of people, especially if you have more expensive electric or you don't need the heat. I'm benefiting slightly from the heat that the A2000s are providing. You know, just imagine them being there. They're in the basement right now. And my house is fairly thermally efficient, so I don't really need a ton of heat. So these guys will kind of be a bit too much. But it really depends on your hardware, your electric rates, and whether or not you feel things will improve. Unfortunately, the reality is it is pretty much impossible at this point to say if or when profitability will improve. And I would say it's pretty likely we're not going to see the profitability that we've seen for, you know, a year or two when Ethereum was kicking. I don't think we're going to see profitability like that for some time, if at all. So it is a difficult situation. Do you sell your GPUs? Do you keep them? Because even if you want to mine, well, is the hardware going to be relevant if or when the mining returns? But if you're just in it for the fun of it, then I guess maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys think and feel about it. I've been seeing really reduced traffic on all the mining channels. So it seems like a lot of people kind of made up their minds there, and I don't know, they don't want to see it, they're not interested, they're not doing it, so they don't really want to keep up to date with the news maybe. But I've been seeing a pretty good amount of traffic on my parallel miner X11 amp breakout board repair video that I did several months back. Handful of comments here and there still. So interestingly, people, if they're still experiencing failures on these, they must be running them, they must be using them, I guess. But maybe it's just because people are cycling them more and that's causing them to fail more. I don't know, but kind of curious. Are you guys making use of it? Are you still running these things to heat your house? Because it's chilly in a lot of parts of the world at the moment, at least the northern hemisphere. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think and feel about the whole thing. I still plan on being around. My thoughts from my other videos haven't really changed. It would be nice if it was a little bit more profitable, but honestly, like, it doesn't even really matter to me personally that profitability isn't crazy like it was. That's not really a killer for me. It's not really the main motivation for why I got into this. But of course, it varies for everyone. So for a lot of people, it was, and I understand, especially if you bought the hardware at really high prices. So that's a tough pill to swallow. But at this point, what do you do? If you weren't prepared, very little options. I still want to be around. I still want to run the hardware. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to run it when you're not really doing anything and you're not using the heat, if you're not benefiting from it financially or otherwise. Well, seems like a bit of a waste, right? Either way, I'm hopeful that one day the profitability will creep up a little bit. I don't think it's ever going to be, at least for years, going to be where it was, but all I really want is like maybe double power. I have really cheap power. I don't know, around 4 cents a kilowatt hour or so now. So yeah, I'm not really looking for much. I want to make like $5 a day or something on my whole farm after electric. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts and your feelings. Are you guys still watching this? Are you still out there? Do you still exist? Because I've been seeing such little traffic. It's interesting to kind of think where you guys have been, what you guys are doing out there. Either way, I'd like to hear it, and let me know your thoughts.